Raise your hand if at any point in life you've thought, if I just do this, or if I achieve more, I'll finally be happy. Now keep your hand up if that actually happened. Just what I thought. What if everything we've been taught about success is incomplete? Let me take you to the moment in my life when I first learned about what success was supposed to mean. It was 6th grade, end of the summer semester. I'm walking down a hallway towards a classroom door. On the wall, I see it, the list. It's there at the end of every semester. The name of the top 3 students, their grades, and shining next to them are bright gold stars. I stop a few feet away, my palms sweating, my heartbeat so loud that I swear the whole hallway can hear it. I walk closer, slow, like I'm dragging my feet through wet concrete. I stare at the list, giving myself hope that maybe, just maybe this time, my name is there. So I scan it. Once, twice, nothing. My name isn't there. It's never there. I walk into the classroom with my parents. They don't even bother to look at the list. They already know my name isn't on it. We take our seats, and the teacher hands me my report card. I look down, red everywhere. I failed half of my subjects. I look up, tears start rolling down my mother's eyes. And my dad, he doesn't say a word, but the disappointment and concern is heavy in the air. The teacher then starts to talk in a tone that has empathy, more for my parents than for me, saying the same things they've been hearing every single year. Rohaan has potential. He just needs to focus more in class. Maybe if he spent more time with the toppers, he'd be like them. Her words blur into the background noise. I don't even know what my parents said. All I can think is, damn, they're disappointed in me. I need to change this. I need to prove my worth somehow. That moment stuck with me. It planted a seed, one that would drive me for years to come. And for the next 20 years, that's what I thought. Success means find those who are successful and just do what they're doing. But here's the thing, when success is rooted deep in insecurity, you will never feel enough. Accomplishments, when they're just about proving your worth, you will always feel empty. Today, success feels more complicated than ever, doesn't it? Everywhere we look, we're drowning in information, achievements of others, expectations from ourselves, leaderboards, highlight reels on social media. But instead of bringing us clarity, it fuels our insecurity. We set goals that look good on paper, designed to impress others. But what does it do? Does it make us happy? I don't think so. For me, it meant chasing external validation, material wins. But when things got tough, or when a shinier, newer goal came along, I'd lose interest. But the hardest part, that voice in your head that whispers, "You're not good enough." No, it always finds a way to show up. I then started seeking answers of how can I find fulfillment? How can I start being something more than what I'm expected to be? Turns out, our brains are wired for something that we don't even talk about when we set goals. In 2006, neuroscientist Jorge Moll and his team at the National Institutes of Health, they carried out an experiment, one that changed my perception. Picture this, you're part of the study. You're sitting in a quiet lab, wired to a bunch of machines, and handed $128 for yourself. In front of you, a screen lights up. Name of a charitable organization, Children's Relief Fund. Below that, a description. Provide food and education to underprivileged children. Then, an option appears. Would you like to donate an amount from the study fund for free? Easy decision, right? You click donate. While you're making your decision, the researchers are scanning your brain, and they realize that when you choose to donate, even when it costs you nothing, the reward center of your brain still lights up. This is the same part of the brain that activates when you eat your favorite dessert or listen to a song that makes you feel alive. Then comes the next question. This time, the donation comes at a cost, at a personal cost. Should you choose to donate, the amount you choose will directly reduce from the $128 you get to take home. But holding on to that money feels tempting. You start to wonder, a nice dinner, maybe something for yourself, perhaps that denim jacket that you have sitting in your online shopping cart. But then, for a moment, you wonder, what could even a little amount mean for a child who hasn't had enough to eat today? You hesitate. You click donate. Researchers realize that when you are generous at a personal cost, when generosity costs you something, a deeper part of your brain activates, the anterior prefrontal cortex. This is the part of your brain that's responsible for empathy, morality, and thinking about the long-term impact of your actions. In simple terms, your brain doesn't just reward generosity, it rewards you more when it costs you something. Sacrifice doesn't diminish you, it amplifies you and your purpose. Our brains are wired to find joy, connection, and fulfillment in our actions and purpose greater than ourselves. Now, I'd like you to raise your hands again if you've done even one of these 4 things. Paid for someone else's coffee without any expectations. Stayed late at work just to help out a colleague. Sat down with a friend and heard them just because they're going through a tough time. Bought something for someone just because it reminded you of them. Do you remember how that felt? That warm, fuzzy feeling? That was your brain lighting up like fireworks, reinforcing the joy of meaningful connection. This realization changed my perception of success. Fulfillment is not achieved from what we achieve. Fulfillment is achieved from what we contribute. I then discovered there are 4 components in creating a life of fulfillment, staying excited, and even getting paid to do it. I call it the obsession to impact. It starts with the obsession, the thing that drives you, the thing that inspires you, the thing you can do for hours and lose track of time. For me, it's this: conversations, creating clarity, helping people see things in ways they hadn't before. But our obsession, it needs direction. The next component is purpose. Who benefits when you take your obsession and use it for something greater than yourself? I'll be completely honest. When I started living with purpose, when I knew exactly why I'm waking up every single morning, everything changed. But purpose without action is just an idea, and ideas do not bring fulfillment. So I made a simple rule for myself: to not go 2 days in a row without taking purposeful action. That's it. Simple. But it forces me to act, to reach out, to connect, to start conversations that matter. And I'll just let you in on a secret. One of my most favorite ways to connect with others is to ask them, what's something exciting happening in your life right now? Try this, and I promise you, the way that you connect with others will completely change. Finally, the fourth component. I love this one. Recognize the ripple effect. Your impact doesn't stop with you, it spreads. Every action you take, no matter how small, can change lives in ways you may never imagine. I remember this when I saw this firsthand. One of my coaching client named Mudit, he was at a low point in career and life. He lacked clarity, he felt disconnected, and found himself stuck in a cycle of destructive habits. We started off with career coaching, but soon our discussions evolved into deeper topics like purpose, habit, and mindset. Weeks later, he calls me, and I remember the enthusiasm in his voice. These were the exact words he said. Rohaan, after our discussions, I finally quit smoking. I started working out, and now I'm journaling. I finally feel like I'm making progress. His change was because of his desire and commitment to himself, but it got a spark because of our interaction. An interaction that was there because of the obsession that I had to create clarity and impact in every interaction I have. An obsession that was there because of a ripple effect from my role model, my dad. Someone who goes through life sharing his wisdom with others and creating an impact in his own ways. Now let me share with you another example of a far more accomplished man without whom we'd all likely not be in this room today. Dr. Norman Borlo, father of the Green Revolution. Between the 1940s and the late 1960s, the developing part of the world was on the brink of famine. Farmers were struggling to grow crops. Dr. Borlaug's obsession in solving global famine led to breakthroughs in wheat production, which saved over 1 billion lives, for which he was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize. Think about that, 1 billion lives. His biggest goal wasn't about himself, it was about the impact it would have for others. Every conversation you have, every moment of kindness, every action you take creates a ripple. And the crazy part is, you may never even see it, but someone somewhere will feel the change. And that impact, that's how you find true fulfillment in life. Going back to a younger me, scared of being a failure, who did everything at school to focus, to succeed, here's what I tell him. You don't need more focus. You need to lean into what excites you, what inspires you, what connects you to others. Tonight, take a moment and write down 3 things you're obsessed with and ask yourself, what problem could it solve? How can I take small, consistent actions? And most importantly, what sort of impact could this lead to? Your biggest goals will not be about what you achieve, they'll be about who you impact. Imagine a world where every interaction you have leaves someone better than you found them. Now imagine the ripple effect of 1 billion such moments. So what's one goal you will redefine today, not for the what, but for the who? Thank you.